broadcasting live from our studio in Appleton, Wisconsin. You're tuned into Fox Cities Core on WCZR Code Zero Radio. We're the show that gives you an opportunity to call in and be a part of the show. Our call-in line is 920-358-0795. Core. We are really lucky for the amount of talent that we have in the Fox Cities, which brings me to my next guests. They are a band from the Fox Cities that just released an album called Sludge Americana. I'd like to welcome the Dead Buddhas to Fox Cities Core. How are you guys doing today?
Hello.
Good. Howdy. Thank you.
Congratulations on the album. It came out on Friday. I mean, how's the reaction been so far?
Really good, I think. I mean, it's, I think, very unique, and I think people were very ready to hear something a little out there. That's kind of what we are, a little out there.
It's different. It's very different. It's got a good blend of light and heavy. The dynamics kind of smack you in the face.
Well, if people aren't familiar with the Dead Buddhas, I wasn't too familiar with the Dead Buddhas until, recently. And I was checking it out on Spotify. I'm like, is this the same band? Because the dynamics that between songs from you guys is so different. Like that, how you've described your band as sludge shoegaze.
Yeah.
Which can you explain to me what that is?
Oh man, you want to take the sludge part?
Yeah. Well, we have a pretty wide range of influences. All of us kind of have different backgrounds, even though we grew up together. Me personally, I really love a lot of like classic American stuff, like Johnny Cash, the Grateful Dead, and also the heavier contemporary stuff like Chat Pile or Full of Hell or Korn. And we all kind of have things that we overlap on in terms of our interests, but we got different stuff too.
Yeah.
So we've always tried to always do something different. And I guess that kind of explains like why all of our stuff from the past sounds way different from what it used to be. Like this is our first time ever actually like doing shows as a group and with an actual drummer. Up until then, like we were just growing up, like hanging out in his room, basically just experimenting with the stuff that we had.
Yeah.
So Fusileer, that first album, that's technically on all of our streaming. That's something that I wrote like in 2021 because life blew up during COVID, like everybody's basically. So I moved out to my hometown, Rapid City, South Dakota, and while I was living there, I would just visit him for a week or so, and we would just work on ideas and kind of turned it into this sort of concept album. And we're working on eventually playing that stuff live, but that's from a very different time in our lives, and we were just kind of figuring out how to do this. We've only been playing shows for about a year, so it's still a very new experience for us.
Well, so going back to like the start of the band, then it was a brainchild of the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've all known each other for, a long
Since
long
forever.
time, since like high school.
Were you in projects before this, or is this your first project?
No, we've been in projects before. Starting with us two, when we were in high school, we were in a project called, what was it,
Tribals, yeah. That's also out there too. It's
you don't need to listen.
You don't have to hunt it down, but
It was more like an indie rock thing, and then we started. Everything went silent.
Yeah, you don't have to look that up.
Yeah, it was definitely like a metalcore project way back in 2013, 14. Yeah.
So the three of you went to high school together?
yeah.
All three of you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All separate years, but we ended up finding each other through odds and ends, and kind of like a band of misfits. We really bonded over our differences and our kind of overlapping interests, and I think that's what makes us very unique. Is we're not all kind of copy paste the same guy.
No.
And I don't know, we challenge each other musically. We're all great friends, and I think that really speaks to the product that we've made.
So what was the name of the high school? Which one?
Oshkosh West.
Oshkosh West.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of people that were involved or that were interested in music at Oshkosh West?
I mean, it depends.
Because the fact that you guys found each other, I didn't know how big the pool was of musicians at the.
Well, we would go to New Moon all the time for open mic nights. Like, it was a routine Tuesday thing that we would all do, and it was so fun back then.
Yeah. I used to host open mic back a long time back when I was like 16 years old, and back at that time, Sarah Voswinkle from Dead Horses used to perform there all the time, and also Nick Raymond from Traveling Suitcase. So they're a few years older than us, but they were a huge influence on me. Seeing them perform when I was like 14 and just being like, man, that's so cool. And they were really supportive of me when I was younger, especially Sarah. And we've played a few shows with Traveling Suitcase, and also like we've heard Nick talk about us on here. Like that's such a huge compliment.
That was wonderful.
Felt great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So the fabric of the Oshkosh scene. I often think Oshkosh doesn't get as much credit as they deserve, but they've got a lot of great artists from Oshkosh come up here, and people think they're Fox Cities bands, but really they're part of the Oshkosh music scene.
Yeah.
Which brings me to this album of yours. It was recorded at TRS in Oshkosh, which that location itself has been a part of the fabric of the Oshkosh scene for quite some time. Jeff, Randy, and Jason have all got that up and running. I know all three of those gentlemen were involved with the new album, weren't they?
Oh yeah, honestly I owe a lot to them and to Yuri, because he introduced me to them, and I've been working with TRS. I engineered and recorded the whole album there. They what they're doing for the community is so great. Like it's so needed for that space to exist, especially for like the hardcore music scene and the alternative music scene. I just owe a lot to them.
Yeah,
they do a
they're great
job.
guys.
Yeah, typically I do this earlier. Apologies. We should go through and what your name is and what you do in the band.
I'm Kevin. I do some vocals and I play some guitar.
Yeah. I slap at the bass, I do some singing, and I also do all the mixing and the recording and stuff.
And you didn't say your name.
I'm JT.
I'm Connor. I do vocals and guitar, and sometimes a little bit of bass.
Yeah.
So why a little bit of bass?
Well, we try to
We mix it up.
diversify it as much as we can.
Are a lot of you multi-instrumentalists?
Yeah. Or we try to be, at least. There's not really a front man. Like we all take turns on vocals because we all have been bringing our ideas to this. I think if you get to know us and listen to the record, you can kind of tell who's writing what.
Well, it's interesting to me because going back to listening to you guys and wondering if it was the same band.
Yeah.
There's some like very aggressive, abrasive vocals, and there's some like really like singing vocals. Like are all the loud things taken by one person?
Actually,
No.
it's very
We all do that.
diversified. It's we've got like even shares in the heavy stuff and in the light stuff. I mean, obviously, I like to say that Connor's the best at screaming.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
he 100% is.
Yeah,
he's the guy for that.
Yeah, I do like lead vocals on like Stairwell, Mirrored Lake too, or most of the heavier stuff on the albums. But I got one soft song in there too, Camp 15. So
Beautiful
It's a beautiful
song.
song.
Just
Yeah.
beautiful.
There's lots of layers in these songs, and listening with headphones is, I think, the way
Yes.
to listen to the new album, because
100%.
I heard stuff when I had the headphones on that I couldn't hear prior.
Yeah.
With going in, writing and recording these songs, how much of that got added while you were recording?
Oh man. So let's see. There's so many layers of synth, which are kind of in the backing, and I kind of like adding those textures. So obviously we did those last. But I mean, we wrote a lot of the song, like especially Mirrored Lake and Bitter Honey, we wrote on acoustic guitars.
Yeah.
And we kind of have this theory that if it sounds heavy on an acoustic guitar, it's going to sound even like worse in a good way. And once you distort it with the electric.
yeah, that's kind of how the name for the album came up, because we were writing that stuff on an acoustic guitar, and it's like, man, that kind of sounds like Sludge Americana. And we're just gonna call that when we eventually release that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that answers my question about why you named the album Sludge Americana.
Yeah.
So the shoegaze, I mean, why not Shoegaze Americana or?
Well, I mean, to
It's
me,
winter,
sludge
it's
kind of
sludgy.
means like it's just a little muddy. We're kind of rebranding sludge in a way. I mean, I know it exists out there already, but I mean, it's all words at the end of the day. I mean, it's what it means to you, and I think that's just kind of our method behind blending different genres is just to kind of sludgeify each one together and then to smush it into whatever it is that
Yeah,
that we
like
made.
if you look up the genre sludge metal, it's not. That doesn't.
That's
sound
not
right.
us.
At
Yeah.
all,
But
no.
so a lot of our main influences are sludge metal, stuff like Black Sabbath or Acid Bath or Cloakroom, and also some stuff like Thou, which
Yeah.
I think their label originally was based out of Oshkosh, Eroding Winds,
so.
which that's, I saw them perform in a really tiny room there one time. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So, yeah. It's
Then, like on the post rock side, I grew up listening to an Icelandic band called Sigur. I don't know if I know they know them. I don't know if you know them,
yeah.
but
I nodded. I don't know why.
they just make beautiful soundscape music, and it's all in Icelandic, and their singer is incredible. You don't know anything that they're saying, so it's almost more like an instrument, because Icelandic is such a wild language compared to other languages, especially in that area. But yeah, lots of ambient music, post rock. That's kind of the music that I make personally in my free time. But if you can blend like that heavy and like an extreme heavy with an extreme light, you kind of get some cool dynamic. And like such is life, there's ups and there's downs, and I want our music to express that as well.
yeah.
I did notice some positive lyrics, and
Yeah, because
Yeah, of course.
all that stuff was written during like a 2-3 year period, and a lot of things happened to all of us during that time. So a lot of good and bad. So we were just trying to, to be honest about all of it.
Yeah.
Well, how do you approach the songwriting? It sounds like everybody's kind of doing a little bit of it. You mentioned writing some songs on acoustic guitars. Is there a recipe that?
I mean, someone
Buddhist-
comes to the table with an idea, and we kind of stack layers over that, and we'll help each other flesh out the idea. I have brought songs to the table, and JT will say, maybe let's try putting this part at the end, and we can kind of double that up, and it goes really fast. Like I think we were just, what was that, on Thursday for Camp 15, right? On the album, it's kind of like a solo piece. There's not a lot of layers onto it. And we all sat down and we were like, can we make this show ready in a day?
Yeah, full band version of the song.
And we did in like 20 minutes. I mean, it comes to us like that. And
simple.
we have very good chemistry sonically, I think, that helps us
Yeah.
pull things together.
Camp 15, Connor brought that to the table, and it's just such a gorgeous song. I love it so much. So we recorded it with 2 amps kind of in stereo to give a little bit of a wider feel to it, and then she recorded the vocals, tiny layers of bass, and like an underlining synth pad to add some ambience, did some backing vocals, and honestly that's kind of all you need. Sometimes the simpler the song, the better. There it is.
You've got like this is one of them that's got the softer vocals.
Yeah.
It's everybody pretty supportive when somebody brings an idea. Is there pushback ever from anybody, or
No.
So really, from when a song is brought to the table, as you mentioned, it's more everybody's on board right away. There's not a lot of change this, or
No.
I'm not going to play this song because I don't like it.
I think we understand that if someone feels that something they're going to bring to the table to make into a full arrangement, that it means something to them. And we really respect each other,
Yeah,
I think is a huge part of it.
Yeah, but it's also democratic too. Like we spend a lot of time just jamming and improvising because that's what has helped us with our structure more than anything else, to be honest.
Yeah.
How did playing shows affect everything? Because if you've been playing shows for a year, these songs obviously have been living a lot longer than that.
Yeah, a couple of years at least. So it was different. And also, when Wiley joined us and started helping out, that defined the sound, because like I said, we try to keep this all very democratic, and and Wiley's onto something else. He had another project with some friends who moved up here to help him with it. So we totally got it. And
We couldn't have done this without him.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
he
a
was
great
the
guy.
the key to the success of the album. If I'm being for real, because really we were just making music for fun in my bedroom.
up until then,
He completed us, and he really, literally walked into our lives. I mean, we were looking for a drummer for, God, how long? Like a year and a half?
way more than that.
Long time. And then one day I decided I'm just going to go to Guitar Center, going to pick something off the wall and just play our songs. and plugged in, started playing some stuff. Wiley walked right up to me, goes, "Are you playing a Stews song?" And I was like, "No, that's our song, but I love the Stews." And he just kind of showed up. Yeah. We got kicked out of my garage at my apartment for having our first practice there, and that really bonded us together. And you know, the rest was kind of history.
So where are you where are you practicing nowadays?
My place. I got a studio in my basement, so I'm kind of setting it up so we can record live jams like professionally, like full on the 8 to 10 microphone setups. And because like what we're doing now is we're trying to, I don't want to say we're trying to be a jam band, but we want every single song that we're recording to have a jam factor if we just want to completely improvise something.
Yeah,
maybe
100%.
Yeah.
I don't know about Kevin so much, but JT and I, we're huge Dave Matthews fans and stuff like that. You know?
I don't mind the Dave Matthews band. I like them. It's just not my everyday.
They're one of my favorites personally. You know, that surprises people when they hear this stuff that I write, because I don't even really think that reflects it, but it isn't a strong influence. You know, especially like with writing heavier music, I've listened to a lot of more like jazz or country or just more weird stuff, because it helps so much with structure. You know, it's very easy for bands, especially heavy bands, to get comfortable with a sound, and then you're just doing that for the next 15 years. You know, and we really don't want to do that. We want to keep being as weird as possible and just developing the more we do this, and also to be flexible so that, you know, it's always been kind of like a weird type of deal where there hasn't been a lot of structure between us up until now. It's just us sharing ideas. Yeah. And we've got Max, and Max is an amazing drummer. You know,
love Max.
He did our first show with us last night. He did a fantastic job. But he's more jazz, you know, and he kind of is on the lighter side. So we're just, you know, we're going to see how it works with it. But he does a great job on the heavy stuff too, you know.
Not just as he's a drummer, but he plays piano amazingly. Yeah. Guitar, he's an amazing singer. And something that we're looking to do in the future, and we did do this on the record, but we really want to branch out with layers of vocal harmonies between all four of us now. I think that's going to be really cool. You don't really see that much, you know, with all four people. And then we can all kind of front different songs too. You know, you do some singing from the drums, and you know, who knows. I think the cool thing that I like about this band and these guys is we all kind of share a core group of bands that we're all interested in, but then we all have such wild, diverse, completely different tastes. And we're not going to be genre bound to something because we're this type of band per se. We're just going to make music because it's us if it comes from us.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, that's what it is.
We made a really fun playlist recently where we kind of took all of our collective interests and Connor appropriately titled it, "Now That's What I Call Sludge." And it's really long. It doesn't make a ton of sense if you listen to it just straight out, but if you realize that it comes from the context of like, this is all of our interests, you can kind of trace back the root to the album as you listen to it in whole.
Everything from Acid Bath to Fetty Wap. It's
yeah, baby.
There's a song we've only played it live like once or twice called Back Rooms. It's the third song on the record, and originally that was a 808 track with like hi-hats and claps, and Kevin's actually a really good rapper. He can freestyle like great.
Don't make me do it.
Let's do it.
Let's hear it. You gotta hear it.
No. We're not doing it.
And we were gonna do like a rap thing on that track, but then we decided it's too much of an outlier, you know, for the vibe of the album. And it turned out great. We kept the 808 in there. That's that pounding beat. And then added like distorted saxophones and trumpets and just noise on the guitar to just fill this.
And JT comes in right at the end with an auto-tune, "Sludge theme park."
I don't know if you heard that or not. You listen back to it.
I was nervous to show Connor about that.
The first time I heard it, I was like, "That's staying. That's final."
I loved it. But we named it the Back Rooms because that's a little bit of Oshkosh lore. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen those creepypasta like Reddit posts of the back rooms. That's like a like a viral online lore thing, but it's actually a picture of the basement of Hobbytown, USA in Oshkosh. So,
I always forget that.
Yeah. Oshkosh and like Wisconsin in general, just it has a fascinating history, you know, and that has been a huge influence on me, especially with the stuff that I was writing. You know, I love nature. You know, I spent a lot of time like, you know, rock hunting, and I love deer hunting and turkey, and not even just for the killing aspect. I just love like trudging through frozen swamps and like and sitting alone in the woods
That's
for long
metal.
times. You know, it's you know,
He walks
it's-
in the sludge.
Yeah. It's easy to forget because we all live right on the interstate, but if you step outside of it, like the rest of Wisconsin is so beautiful, and it has a really rich
Gorgeous.
history. Yeah, there are pyramids here, and there's thousands of effigy mounds, and you know, prehistoric sloths. I mean, it was like Lord of the Rings here. You know, so there's a lot of that in the album. Not necessarily talking about that stuff, but
Themes,
a deep love for this place.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about the album cover. It's Wisconsin, but what's the is there a deeper meaning?
That was Connor's
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
That's a hydrological map of Wisconsin. So that's all of the lakes, the tributaries and waterways, you know. And if you look at it, it almost kind of looks like a human head, like where it's like, I don't know if you can pull it up or something, but you see,
know
like
if
there's
I've
the
ever
chain
noticed
of
that.
lakes at the top,
always noticed
and
it's a
which is
head.
it looks like the brain, and then Lake Winnebago is the heart, and you know it's really fascinating. You know, I grew up in the city in Oshkosh, so I completely overlooked this stuff. But when I lived out in South Dakota in the mountains, it completely changed the way I look at everything. And out there, it's like, you know, this geological majesty, but here it's just like this hidden history, and the biodiversity of this place is incredibly beautiful.
I mean, it was covered in a mile of ice at one point. That's
Yeah.
fascinating. Where else did that happen? I mean, there's a lot of other places where that happens. We live here. It's so cool. I mean, going to the Driftless area, going up to
La Crosse, it's very beautiful out there.
Lacrosse,
Yeah.
The Cathedral Pines, that's one of the last sections of old growth forest in the North Woods. Yeah.
I like this. It's kind of a travel Wisconsin show as well. Which
yeah.
so Connor, you did you actually do the artwork then? You took the map you said of Wisconsin, but there's also elements on the side like around it.
That was
Yeah.
Kev's doing.
Yeah,
Kevin did that.
Kevin did that part.
So I work up a lot of our kind of, I guess promotional materials, you can say. Like I make our silly little Instagram videos.
You're such a
I
good
don't
job.
run any of the socials because I have a lot going on. Thank you to JT for doing that. But we have kind of two logos, right? So one of them is our metal logo. It's that.
Hollow binds.
Yeah, and a good friend of mine from Twitter actually drew that up for us, and that's, you know, one side of it. So it kind of has this synchronization with how Wisconsin looks, I think. I mean, if you just kind of tweak it, it mirrors that, you know, hydrological, I guess, kind of layout of the rivers and the lakes and everything. So just kind of boarded it all. And the font there, it's kind of like this gothic type look. I think, I mean, it looks sludgy.
Death metal logos will have the completely illegible.
And we need
kinda wanna
merch
do
that you
that.
can read and you know what it says. So that's why we have two.
Metal logo
Yeah,
also.
it's a stamp. It says the Dead Buddhas. I can't read it.
It's more like a sigil.
I
or
see it in there.
It's a sigil. Yeah, it's a sigil.
So the album came out this past Friday
Yeah.
on all the streaming platforms, but you also have CDs out.
Yes.
What does the artwork on the back look like?
Oh, it's
It's a
like
blown up
zoomed-in
version, yeah,
Blown
of
up
the
front?
of the hydrological section, and then just kind of, you know, layering the song titles on there, credits, of course. Once again, shout out to TRS. I mean,
Yeah.
beautiful process to record it there. Great space.
Why did you decide to go to TRS recording studio for this?
So I've known Yuri Weber for a long time through just going, to New Moon open mics for years. And I did some recording with him for one of their earlier projects for Generation Y, like way back in the day when I was just recording music in my bedroom. And then he just kind of brought up that this music space is opening up on Main Street. And so he kind of just got me in the door there. So I owe so much to him, because then I met Jeff, Randy, and Jason all through him. And I've recorded multiple projects there, everything from, Dead Ringers, our project, the Dead Buddhas, Menthol Spliff, Generation Y. I mean, Kamikaze Relief Fund, China Ferrari Sex Orgy Death Cult. Oh, that's a mouthful. But yeah, they all turned out great, and I was so happy to be a part of all those. It's a magical place there. I absolutely love it.
They're releasing a lot of great stuff coming out there. The Dead Ringers, that one's been out for a few months, and that's a great album.
One. Yeah, when we were recording that, we finished up with the song, and I was like, hey, we got all the mics on, let's record a jam. And they ended up playing for like 10 or 12 minutes, and it's the last song on their album called Untitled, and it's such a milestone of their musicianship because it's such a cool song.
You could say it's a monument.
It's a monument. Hey.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're great.
Cool cover art too.
Yeah.
So the Dead Buddhas decided to do the album there.
Of course.
You're very familiar with the studio, which probably made it very at home feeling for you. Was there anything that you weren't expecting to feel? Having the Dead Buddhas recording, being on, it sounds like you're still on both sides.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's fun to do the recording process. Honestly, while we were recording this, it still is so much of a learning experience because I spent 8 years mixing, in my apartment studio. Obviously I got a house and I got a studio in my basement and stuff. But like mixing a full band. Like the engineering aspect of it was completely new to me. Like I really only used like 4 microphones, and now I have drawers and drawers full of microphones, and I'm still kind of learning the whole rundown of that. But the more projects that I was involved on, the better and better. It's getting like it's totally my passion, mixing, mastering, and all that stuff. And
JT's amazing.
Thank you. But every day is a learning experience, and it's more growing. Like. One thing on our record that was kind of a hiccup was when we recorded the guitars. They came in very, very high on the treble end of things. So I ended up needing to cut like 15 decibels of high end because it was just like shit. But hey, it turned out good.
How many hours do you think you spent tracking the album?
How many what?
How many hours did he spend tracking the album?
Oh man, I mean. At TRS, we went 2 days. I think, right? Was it 2 days?
Yeah, it was 2.
2 days drums for 1 day, and Wiley just banged it out. Just Mr. Metronome Man. And then we did bass and guitar the next day. And we did all the vocals at my studio here, and then plus like the synths, any like acoustic guitars. We did at my place. You can record an acoustic guitar in a room. But like loud electric guitars, drum sets, you need a big space and amazing microphones and stuff to
sounds really great in there.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Was there any guest performers outside of the band that you had perform on the album?
I don't think
so. No.
No. I would love to do that going forward though. Like,
very cool.
Doing band collabs, I think, is something that this area needs. I mean, there's so much music out there, and to do like split records or just like features,
collaborative albums, there's also compilations from record labels. Those really go a long way.
Yeah,
I think like you mentioned Nick Raymond earlier. I mean, there's just the Oshkosh scene is so rich with people you could bring in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if is Cricket still around in Oshkosh?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the jambalaya we talked about earlier. What are the places currently you can play in Oshkosh? Because it seems like
the Reptile.
Reptile, yeah. I guess that's been the staple.
We did Fletch's one time.
Yeah.
For
us, it's different because when we're playing like the Sludge Gaze,
right.
Not every single music venue is going to be susceptible to the sludge.
Or they might not know about it until you're playing.
Yeah.
That's why we're really trying to diversify more, because it would be nice to do festivals and stuff like that too, but also still keep that heaviness, for when we need it or whatever. Because we love doing shows like for Yuri, and it's such a good time. He
does a great job with the jam.
Yeah. Jambalaya just had their last show on Friday, at least the last show at the Gallery. They bought their new venue next to the Reptile Palace, and that was a great time.
Such an honor.
Yeah, they had Rebel Matic, Los Causos, Menthol Spliff, and Smoke Free Home. It was like a very emotional night, because I grew up with a lot of those guys. Like Alex and I were neighbors when we were kids. Kevin Sunlightner and we were roommates like 10 years ago. He actually is on some of that Fusileer record, that we were talking about earlier. Yeah. He did some of the drums and some guitar and bass too. So we've known a lot of these guys forever. So it's a great feeling, watching all of us like grow up and we're actually doing what we love. And it's not like we're making money off of it per se, but it's, but
people
broke
even last night, man.
Yeah, but people are responding well to it, and they, and they care about it, and that's a great feeling, man.
Mm-hmm. I think as far, is that the album coming out too, it adds you to the list of people that are bands that are actively still, recording and putting stuff out, which this question always comes too quickly, but are you working on new material at this point?
Yeah, have been for a while.
Always.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the songs that we've been playing live even for the last year aren't on the record.
Yeah. We probably got at least 2 albums worth of stuff that we could work on, but we're trying to split it up and also consistently release things, to keep people interested. Mm-hmm. But the next stuff is going to be different from this album. We really want to try some of the stuff that's been on our shelf for a long time, and to just get it out there. And it's going to be very different, but it'll still sound like us. I think people will still be able to recognize it.
Yeah.
Well, the different styles when you're booking shows, you mentioned some places things don't go over too well. How do you find places to play or bands to play with, having a style that is so different?
Oh yeah, so
JT brings them in.
This is all new to me over a year ago, but I mean it's all online. Really, it's just people that conversations that you're having. Things it's just if you just put some stuff out there, things kind of just get taken back. It's just kind of the way that's like a give and take. Like if a band invites you to play somewhere, invite them to play home field.
It's the one hand washes the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's DIY ethics because, like rock music, it's not really a mainstream thing anymore. If you watch or if you follow even like Decibel magazine or a lot of these like rock magazines, they're still talking about Slipknot and My Chemical Romance, bands that haven't even put out an album in 10 years type stuff. But the real places where where rock and contemporary music is coming from, it's all regional. There's the Bay Area, there's OKC, Kansas City, or the Chicago, there's Northwest Indiana or Michigan, there's Philadelphia. There's so many kind of pop-up places where music is taking off. And I think
the Fox Valley.
I think it really could become one of those places eventually.
Yeah. I think it is. It's just undiscovered. I mean, there's so many bands here are so good. I mean, you can't even. It's hard to list all of them. They're great.
Well, is there a venue that you would consider home base for the Dead Buddhas?
Oh, probably Jambalaya. It was our first show.
At least the old one.
Yeah.
Well, and you mentioned Eroding Winds earlier.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like to have? Well, I know what it's like, but for you, what does it mean to have a record shop in Oshkosh? Oshkosh has all these great things, just like Appleton, that people take for granted. A record shop, recording studio, places to play.
Well, I love that they moved into the new building. I was just there last week, bought a couple records, and it's huge.
Yeah, Windows of Light,
fantastic.
It's cool. They have some amazing artists on their roster, man, like Panopticon, Krallis, Thou, Emma Ruth Rundle. I've seen her a few times. She's incredible. Yeah. So I'm not sure how active they are anymore, but some of my favorite black metal and just like alternative stuff has come from them.
Do you have any aspirations to put this on vinyl?
Maybe.
People pay enough attention to it, definitely.
We'll see.
Is it the choice not to? Is that mostly a financial reason?
Yeah.
We would have to get some really cool prints, that hydrological across the vinyl. I mean, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right.
It just gives you so many more options, for the artwork.
Oh yeah.
Well, with the new stuff that we're working on, it's. I mean, like you were saying, you think this record is fairly diverse, but the new stuff is so cool. I mean,
Yeah.
It's the extremes even more like polarizing. Like the ambient stuff is so washy, and I mean, when we were at the show last night, the whole crowd was just kind of like swaying like this. And I love that vibe. I love that vibe. And then we completely left-turned it and played Stairwell after Camp 15, and that throws everyone for a loop.
I think it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
You know, my knees hurt after, you know, jumping up and down every song in a row. Sometimes I just need a little break. You know, I think that's why we do it, is just to, it feels a little longer too, you know, when you're switching back and forth between these sounds. And I think it captures attention. It demands a little more of an ear to really pick up those idiosyncrasies in the music that we're making.
And like from a life perspective, your whole life isn't a linear one genre. There's, there's some ambient stuff in your life. Now there's some crazy metal stuff, and you got some blues over here. And, you know, your life's a whole up and down thing. And if you can write music to express where you are in your life, it's genre limitless.
Hey, can you explain what the experience of a Dead Buddhas show is? What can people expect if they go see a Dead Buddhas show?
Don't expect. Don't expect. You know, I don't even know what I'm going to expect.
Yeah. I've just kind of been noticing this lately, but no matter where we are, it kind of feels like we stand out a little bit. We're always a little bit weird because when we're doing like shows for Yuri, you know, we're usually the softest ones there because, you know, stuff like hydroplaning or baseball, like it's very like ambient, you know, kind of weird stuff. But when we're playing with indie bands, we're usually the heavier ones, even when we're trying to chill out. So
you're like, this is some nice psychedelic jam music. Get ready for this next one.
Yeah,
the sludge is coming.
The sludge is coming. It's thick.
Well, from what Kevin said too, you guys are moving around quite a bit, right? A lot of you mentioned jumping around.
Yeah, I think. I mean, we have a performance aspect of just kind of using our bodies to kind of. It's like a flow state that you get into with the music. So I mean,
100%.
On the slower songs, we're kind of doing this kind of little.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it, but on Sunshine, where there's like this.
Like a sway?
Sway, yeah. Some swing to it. That was the word I was looking for. And then we go and we play the Stairwell, and I'm jogging up there because you got to go up the stairwell. And thrashing about, and Connor's just is this ball of energy, it's...
The Stairwell was inspired by this guy that I saw at Planet Fitness one time. I walked in and this was like 4 or 5 years ago. I'll never forget it. It's still to this day, it blows my mind. I walk into the gym and there's this guy on the steps machine running at full speed. Full speed. And I'm there for an hour, and this guy is still there, sweating full speed. And I think that's crazy. He must be practicing to run up the stairs chasing people. That's the only logical explanation of why he wouldn't be doing this. That's what the Stairwell is about.
That's what I love, the deep stories about the tracks.
Deep.
For sure.
We had a question here. It's from Max. If you guys could instantly, if you guys could instantly be a pro at any non-standard rock band style instrument, what instrument would you choose? Kent, pick, drum, guitar, or bass.
Does lap steel count? Because that would be really
would be
cool.
dope.
I would love me some of that. Twang, and it's a big genre of mine.
It'd be saxophone, hands down. For sure.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play like the cello. Yeah. Cello.
But we do have a wide range of instruments, sitting in our basement. My dad plays the bagpipes. He has his own band of barley. They're kind of like Celtic, Southern folk, Appalachian stuff. I've been trying to convince him to do a Bristol Renaissance fair because they would fit in perfect there. But I mean, his whole house is just filled with instruments, flutes, saxophones, a church organ, like a bunch of different stuff. And in JT's basement, we've got an accordion, saxophone, trumpet, and it's just a matter of learning how to play it,
Remembering.
Couple synthesizers too, big synth guy. Love the synth.
We made some accordion demos recently, turning them into some ambient tracks.
Ambient accordion, it's a niche thing.
So you actually know how to play accordion then?
Learning vaguely. It's really like, obviously it's the keyboard, but there's a whole other thing that you're doing with your right hand of finding the octave, and there's like 50 different keys on it.
Yeah.
It's a very complicated instrument. So I had no idea what I was getting into when I got it.
Have you played your dad's bagpipes before?
No.
I wonder what's harder, like bagpipes or accordion.
I really don't know.
Horse a piece, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's all about holding the thing right.
It's like you have a turkey under your
Yeah.
arm trying to squeeze the life out of.
Exactly. It kind of sounds like that too.
You've mentioned like a couple of the songs off the album. What song was the easiest to record?
Easiest to record. Oh,
Probably Bitter
man.
Honey. I mean, we were playing that one forever.
Yeah, that was the first song that we like wrote together as a full band. You know, yeah.
So that one didn't
Kinda
change
means
much from
No.
writing it to recording it. It's interesting because sometimes the songs that are the easiest, been around the longest, all of a sudden
Yeah.
pose a problem when you go to record them. But
Yeah.
that's great. So that song was easy. What was the hardest?
I don't know what the hardest one was, but there was the one that we changed the most was Industrial Drive. That started as a jam that we wrote with Wiley. It's just funk based bump, 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 bump. And which is totally left field from, Bitter Honey. Yes.
Yeah.
It used to have a very different vocal take too, where I was kind of just like prosthetically screaming and mumbling, and you really couldn't understand it. And that was cool in its own way, but we kind of decided that the album needed a little bit of an outlier, so that's one where, I put that guitar down and I'm doing the vocals on that one. And that really, I think, goes along with the theme of the album. It's really about, nature and the beauty in that. There, across the parking lot from my apartment, there was just this almost a miniature forest, right? And they came through recently and they chopped it all down. They're going to build some ugly new building there. And
They're all ugly.
it's just, we really draw inspiration from our lives. We're not making this music to appease the listener. It's really just us talking about what we feel, what we think, what we like.
Yeah. It's a mixture of looking at the world and also at ourselves, because, you don't really have to you don't have to be on anybody's side to understand that things are really bad and scary right now for a lot of people. A lot of people especially are very worried about, what's going on with AI and how that's going to affect the Great Lakes and also people's health and all of that stuff. It's horrifying. We were like the last 90s kids, so we vaguely remember, what the old world was like before tech started taking over, because we were in high school when it happened, and we watched it happen in real time of all of this crazy stuff that's happened since 2012, basically. Mayan apocalypse or whatever, I don't know. but it's a reflection of that, because we love the natural world and we love the history of this place, and it's kind of getting erased in a lot of ways through urbanization, through this AI. Like, people are forgetting who they are, and a lot of the heavier stuff comes from just the rage of realizing that in the last couple of years. Like, man, I really feel like a lot of things have been stolen from us and we don't even realize it because we've just been conditioned to be comfortable with it.
I mean, there's a lot of spiritual aspects in the album too. Not per se religious dogma, but I mean, Connor and I are really big into different philosophy. Not just philosophers, but Eastern philosophy, Western philosophy, Greek philosophy.
Yeah, Christianity, esoterica, all of it.
Yeah, we like to read. We're nerds.
Yeah.
These are the smart guys in the band. There has to be one token idiot, and I'm proudly that guy. I'm fun to be around.
He does coloring books and stuff.
I do. Yeah, I love to color. Yeah.
He's the brains, I'm the brawn, he's the wild card.
Wildcat.
I'm glad you brought up the AI stuff, because it now you can do pretty much, it seems like more and more every day, and people are embracing it so quickly. And I know people that just love using AI for the graphics, for writing music, and it's a gray area, who owns what, if AI is creating it, and everything is kind of starting to look the same, even though, I mean, where do you think the future lies for, the Dead Buddhas, when all of a sudden I can maybe go to AI and just put in, Sludge Americana and say, write
That's
me
true.
3 new Dead Buddha songs.
Well,
And you have no control over it.
I don't think we would do that. I mean, it would
No.
be a neat, like, for an experiment to see, like, how would that happen. But, I mean, realistically, I wouldn't know of any artists that would rely solely on AI to create art. It's against the point of being an
And
artist. Like,
especially
the point
like
of being human beings is, like, what we are meant to do on this earth is to create. And, like, in every single regard.
Art doesn't have to be perfect to be good. I like to say sometimes, like when somebody asks us, like, what kind of music do you play? I go, well, probably nothing that you would listen to, Grandma. But I mean, it's okay to be a little bit shitty. I mean, shitty is a word sometimes that gets misconstrued as meaning bad. But like, I think there can be beauty in shittiness. I mean, that's kind of what the sludge is about for us. I mean, it's muddy, but there's a lot of beauty in it. It's the layers underneath. It's really what you can pick up in that madness that, I don't know. It's a personal thing for every person.
Yeah. Also, going back to DIY ethics, I mean, especially regionally, I think it kind of goes without saying that if that people will immediately lose respect for you if they find out that you're doing that because it's lazy and it's not really art.
Yeah.
There's value in some of it, especially like I can understand like making music videos or something like that, like on a low budget. Stuff like that. But if you're using it to create your music itself or your writing or basically letting it make your decisions for you like they want it to be for us already, there's nothing good in that.
We need AI for doing the dishes, for doing the laundry, so I have time to make more music.
I mean, the way that I think AI is going to go is you'll be able to turn on your TV and you'll just put in a prompt and it'll show you exactly what you want. Like the feed will be so tailored to specifically your brain and your persona. And that's a wild concept. And I don't know how that'll go, but I really believe that's the way it's going to go.
Well, here's kind of a question that gets away from AI a little bit, but you guys have been, so hooked into the Oshkosh scene.
Yeah.
Jambalaya closing, you mentioned that. There's been a lot of these places that are awesome, very historically important for people involved in music. How do you see the scene changing as far as people actually going out, more people going out? Because I think COVID kind of made it where people are comfortable staying home. Yeah. But there's a lot of things that are out there now that people, when it closes, they're like, oh, I wish that was still there. Why did I never see you there? But if you had to pick one band from the Oshkosh scene that's not together anymore that you could perform one more time, who would that be?
That would be tough. The thing is, like, I think a lot of the bands that we still follow, they're still together, but they're just not necessarily in Oshkosh anymore. A lot of people move to Nashville or Chicago or Milwaukee.
Like Dead Horses.
Dead Horses. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're still active.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I love their music.
Yeah.
So really, we're not sure on that question. We can skip it.
I'm not totally sure.
And Oshkosh too. Like it, obviously, I think everybody's familiar with different bands from there. But I know there's the bands I can think of that aren't together anymore, like Haunted Heads.
Sure.
There's Toothbrushes, Cookie Bug.
They were great when they played at TRS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You guys go to
I
that?
remember
Very
that.
cool.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, there's just to me, it's like it's tough trying to get people to go see live music, but it's like each time the Dead Buddhas play, you don't know how long the band's going to be around. It could be 30 years, it could be 1 year, but it just like every day of your life, every time you play, there's one less time to see you guys,
true.
and it's kind of a deep thing to think about. But I don't know.
I mean, with that being said, we're all such great friends, and we're not planning on. I mean, we're planning on being in the area for a long time, so I'm not seeing any changes. I'm only thinking more things coming.
No. And also going back to like the COVID thing, like I think people are also kind of are waking up to that, and they're just getting tired of being inside. Like we've all been really lonely for the last 5 years, and a lot of people have gotten very tired of it. And we understand that the way we're living isn't good, but we just don't know the way out yet. And that's just by going out and interacting with people and learning how to be friends with people who aren't like you also. That's like a lot of our friends are are like protest bands like Kamikaze, and they do a great job of it. I love their music.
Yeah.
And we feel that same way about a lot of that stuff, but our stuff is just about trying to bring people together, you know, because we all come from pretty different places too, even though we grew up in the same town and grew up together, you know, and we wanted to reflect that.
As much as we're similar, we're all very different.
Yeah.
Like in every regard.
Besides music, do you guys share hobbies outside of music?
I mean, it sounds so funny when I tell people this, especially in the music scene, and they're like, really? I'm like, I'm like avidly in tennis leagues. Like, I love playing tennis.
I don't think any of us play tennis, though.
Yeah. We've all got a couple of things that we share outside of music. You know, Kevin and I really like guns.
Yeah.
Do you guys go shooting together?
Yeah.
We're thinking about doing a photo op for that. Just
I'll have my tennis racket.
That's as far as like band branding. I think Kevin, you said you do most of the social media stuff.
I produce the content, I would say. JT puts it
I
out
saw
there. He does
JT
the
did a
posting.
poster. He's in the car the other day, which I think he's got a Bass Pro Shop hat
That's
on.
Kevin.
That's Kevin, and a mic on each.
Yeah.
Two mics.
Try and keep it interesting, you know. I think that if you're going to watch a 1.5 minute video, it's got to be a little odd, you know, something to keep you on the edge of your seat. And, you know, I think it's a little bit easier to consume media like that than it is to be, you know, like, see another picture with, you know, our dates lined up, you know. It's a little more personal. I think that's what you get when you come to a Dead Buddha show is we're all really genuine, like, personable people. You can just come up to us and talk to us about whatever. You know, we try and make it a very human experience.
What I'm noticing is as we've been playing shows, like we do take the music very seriously, and it's, you know, dynamic in its own regard. It can be angry, it could be happy, it could be sad, it could be, you know, more melancholy. But then, like, kind of in between, we're having fun, we're cracking jokes. You know?
So it's actually, it's fun being in a band.
Yes.
You cannot take yourself too seriously with this stuff. 'Cause at the end of the day, like there's other bands on the bill, and you're just in the crowd as soon as you're done. You know, you're just another guy in it, and you know, and that's actually I prefer it that way. You know, because it's not about an ego boost for us. Like we really just love doing this.
Yeah.
How do you get in the right headspace for a show?
I just pace around nervously for like 15 minutes, and then I get terrified, and then as soon as it starts, I just go into like that flow state, and I just don't think about it as much.
Do you try not to eat before a show?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't do that.
I have no problem eating before a show.
I have like a nice meal. I'll have like a beer. You know,
I don't like to drink before, personally, but
my biggest fear though is having hiccups.
or S's. When we're writing songs, we have to cut lyrics because it'd be like too many S's in that. He doesn't want to.
I got a gap in my teeth. I'll start whistling, and when I use my de-esser, it's like I have to hone in on the exact whistle frequency just to like duct it.
He sounds like Herbert from Family Guy.
What would you consider to be the best Dead Buddha show so far to date?
Oh, I mean, man, there's ones that I've really enjoyed. Like, honestly, playing at the Jam just a couple days ago was awesome.
That was so much fun.
Even our first show with Max last night went great.
Do you try to record these shows? Do you try to get somebody to bring a video camera each time?
I was going to bootleg our own show, and every time that I'm like, guys, I'm going to record this one.
He forgets.
I forget. You just start doing sound check, and then you kind of get busy thinking about other things, and then...
That's more to deal with, and then after the fact, it seems like it would have been a better idea.
Yeah. Well, like with the studio though in my basement, like the end goal, you know, for like in a couple months is to be able to record all of our improv jams, because that's usually how we warm up when we all get together on our practices. We'll just start jamming, and all of a sudden we've been playing for like 15 minutes, going, that was awesome. What do we do? Yeah. What do we do? If we can like professionally record every single part, we could be like, okay, we can hone in on what the guitar was doing exactly there, what the bass was doing there, what was that rad drum fill. You know, we can figure all that stuff out and then create something from that, because so much of the creative experience is fleeting. You know, it comes and it goes, it comes and it goes, and then it's gone.
Yeah, you got to learn how to harness it, and also push through it when you start getting like frustrated, or you're like, oh, I just don't want to do this. Like every single time I'm practicing, I hit a mental wall, and I used to just like let it take me over, and I would just play video games or do something else. But like now, but you have to like force yourself to do it. And if you can just do that for like 15 minutes when you don't want to do it, you can break through and make something really good.
Yeah.
You know, your mind has like obstacles that don't actually exist, and it just tells you that you can't do this when you absolutely can.
It isn't you versus the world, it's you versus yourself versus the world.
Well, the album's available now. You guys have hard copies.
Yes,
People
we
can
do.
buy those
Yeah.
at your show. Is there anywhere else people can go pick up a copy?
We're working on setting up the Bandcamp a little bit further. Ideally, in the near future, you can buy your CD on there, digital download. I mean,
Shirts.
we have plenty of very cool merch. Get that all out there. Get it to the people. Also, it's just a little easier to do it that way. Sometimes people don't bring cash to a show. Sometimes we don't have the right size, and we want to get it set up so that.
Yeah.
And nowadays, you need to have Venmo or something, it seems like.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, that happens too.
Yeah. So people go to should definitely go follow you guys on Instagram.
Yes.
And then you're active on all the major social media pages.
Yeah.
And if you send an email to one, you'll reach Kevin, right?
Nope, you reach JT.
So much to keep track of. But it sounds like people should go out and enjoy this album. It is a lot of different genres mixed together. It's called Sludge Americana, and it sounds like the Dead Buddhas are going to have some other projects that they're working on coming up soon. Any shows lined up at this point?
Oh, yep.
Plenty.
So I'm thinking off the top
March
of my head.
13th, New Moon. March
no,
14th.
March 13th at the new Jam space.
The new Jam,
I think.
not the old
Yep,
one.
on High
the new
Avenue.
one.
I don't know
Next
if
to
that's
Reptile.
confirmed yet. Don't know if it's confirmed yet.
Don't quote us,
I
Yuri.
believe.
we do-
Otherwise, March 14th at New Moon. And then
April 6th at Appleton Beer Factory. That's
We're
one I'm
working
very
on-
excited
yeah,
for.
Yeah, April 6th, Appleton Beer with Smoke. That's going to be Smoke-Free Home. That's going to be a really fun show.
Yeah, that
the
sounds like it.
sound at Appleton Beer Factory is phenomenal, and
Beautiful
that's,
space.
we're just really looking forward
Yeah.
to that. And then we're booking some stuff out end of April too, potentially at April, May, Reptile Palace. Got some
Yeah. We've
things are
got
pending, and then just other pending stuff. Like we're gonna try our best to do at least 2 shows a month.
yeah.
So that's my promise to y'all.
We've got September 6th at the Falcon Bowl in Milwaukee as well.
way out
That's
there.
that's a way out there. Yeah.
No excuse not to put that on your calendar.
Yeah.
Oh, we also have March 21st at Brewski's.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
March
Yep.
21st,
Yep.
Brewskis. Totally forgot about that.
So this is why we have a Google Calendar.
Yeah.
Need that.
We just got a whiteboard, so that's where we're at.
We do not have markers for the whiteboard.
We're
working
horribly
it out.
disorganized.
Well, again, Sludge Americana is the name of the album. Kevin, JT, Connor, the Dead Buddhas, thank you for joining on
Thank
Fox
you.
Cities Court.
Thank you, Andy.
Any final words?
Sludge.
Sludge.
Sludge.